Hi there, another little video on tonight how to do EDC backups, easy EDC backups. I'm going to say right away that this is just a really simple procedure for really simple EDC backups. This applies more to companies that are not open 24/7. So companies that can shut down at night, this kind of backup applies to them. There's another way to back it up for companies that are more like open 24/7 kind of thing. It's using something called continuous operation, and that requires another set of instructions basically. For that kind of backup, if that ever comes around that you need that, the best would be to contact Nikolai at DocuDepot because I think he's already using that method at DocuDepot to back up the database. And so he must have all those scripts for continuous operations and instructions on how to run that. But for simple normal EDC stuff, um, EDC comes with services installed, EDC services on top of Pervasive, as well as the Mongo database. So what we usually do is I do have this file here. It's like an example script of um, of a backup script. So if I open that up, basically all it does here, it sets the root folder of DocuData, your real DocuData folder, where it is on your server, and where you want to back it up to. So you want to back it up to an external drive or something. So you put the locations of these two in here, and then all you have to do is make sure these are right on the server you're working on. 99% of the time, this will be all you need. Actually, there probably won't be anything to change at all. Apart from those two values here, there's probably nothing to change because nowadays the only services that really run on the server at the record center is the order monitor and the RPC server on top of the two databases. That name here is the name of the pervasive service, the workgroup engine one, which most people have. The people that do have um, the server engine, that name will change. So you have to look it up in the services. If we look at the Windows services, if I look at pervasive here, and if I right click on it, properties, that name here, service name, right? Uh, that's the one. So whatever name it says there for the server engine, that's what you'll need to put. Um, if it's a name that has spaces in it, then it would be better to put it, surrounded by quotes like this. Let's say it was something like that, right, with a space in between. So, because I do think that the server engine's name has spaces in it. So you have to do that. But apart from that, that would be pretty much the only thing. The server engine also has two pervasive services to stop and start instead of the workgroup only having one. And the Mongo DB, that's the command for it. So basically all it does, it stops the EDC services, then pervasive, then Mongo, copies the whole EDC folder to the backup location. It creates also a backup log at the same time. And then once the backup is done, it restarts the service in the opposite order. And that's pretty much all there is to it. It's a very simple procedure, works fine. What a lot of people like to do is they would do a backup like that every night. So what you do is you take that file, a simple um, text file, but if you rename it as a batch file, so dot bat like this, then it becomes a kind of an executable file for Windows to run. And so what we usually do, you put that somewhere on your server anywhere, could be in the root of your C drive, or and then you would run it via the task manager, the task scheduler, sorry. So you create a new task, a new Windows task, and so that, say your office closes at 5 or whatever, you could run, at midnight or 11, it doesn't matter. So you just create a new task in there that runs basically that batch file at a certain time. And when it, the first time it's run, the first time it's, well, not the first time, every time it runs, in the task scheduler, you can find out, well, you could also find out via the log file that it creates, but when you look at any of those tasks, there's always a result, that last run result. And usually when it's successful, it does have a 0, 0 status like that. So if you're sending it up for the first time somewhere else, what you could do is, you set it up, and then the next day you go and have a look to make sure that it ran properly. You could also compare, the backup folder with the real one, see if the sizes are okay still, if the file, the number of files in the backup are the same and stuff like that. The best way to really know if it would work would be to actually try to restore that backup with another instance of EDC. That's not something people usually do a lot. I don't think it's really our responsibility to do that either. But if the customer has a second server that they want to, or a backup server that they want to try to restore it on, it's a good idea if they can. And that's pretty much it for that. So let me know if you have any questions and send me an email. Okay, bye.